Hi, this is Lori, and welcome to my series on the Pico W. We're going to continue working on the word clock that I introduced in part 1 and made some modifications to the case for the word clock. It's a great kit by GurgleApps, and if you haven't seen part 1, you might want to take a look at that because this part is going to follow on from the mods that I made to the clock. And the main thing was making the Pico W inside accessible so that we could use the pins on the Pico that haven't been used by the word clock to add other components to our clock. All right, so just a quick introduction to the word clock in case you didn't see part 1. This is a product produced by GurgleApps, which is a family of 3 young people who have put this product together. They did a wonderful job designing it and programming it, and so I definitely recommend it. I'm not sponsored by them. I purchased it because I thought it was incredibly clever, and I really wanted to support them. So I only purchased the faceplate and the color LED matrix. I wanted to print my own case for it, and I had all the other parts that I needed. But you can purchase the whole kit, and I will put a link in the description to where you can pick this kit up if you're interested. Well, now let's get to doing something with all those modifications that I made to the word clock. Alright, so here's what I did. It tells the time in 5-minute increments in the words. And one of the first things I thought of was, oh, maybe I would like to know exactly the minute it's on rather than just being within 5 minutes of the actual time. And so I thought of having a row of LEDs that would indicate whether we're exactly on the time that's shown in the words, or whether we're 2 minutes before, or 2 minutes before the time, or 2 minutes after the time that's shown in words. So yeah, I just put a row of LEDs up here to indicate take away 2 minutes, take away 1 minute, it's exactly right, add a minute or add 2 minutes so that you have a little more close understanding of what time it is. I don't know, that may defeat the purpose of the clock for some people, and so I could see that too. I could see people saying, well, if you wanted a clock like that, just make a different kind of clock. But I just thought it'd be fun to give this a try, and it's really simple, so it's a nice thing to try. It's sort of the first components to add to the clock. LEDs are really simple, and the code is kind of complex. I'll show where I put in some things for the code. Because you do have to kind of puzzle out, where am I going to add in a sensor or a component to it, and how am I going to fit it into the code that GurgleApps has put together. And so that can be a little tricky, especially if you're not great at MicroPython, which I am okay, I guess I would say. All right, so let's take a look at what I did here. So one of the things I ended up doing was making yet another modification in Tinkercad to the clock casing, and that is I added this slot for the proto board to sit in, so that I didn't have to glue it on or screw it on or something. I can slide it in and out. Because I'm the kind of person that likes to play, I'll probably get tired of this and then I want to put something else on it, and this way I don't have to have this be permanent. That's typically how I do projects. All right, so let's take a look at the back. It's a little tricky for me to handle all this, but there's the back, and you can see the matrix lines coming out, and you can see the lines that connect. Let me get my pointer out here. Here's the LEDs here that are coming off the proto board, and then they're coming back into pins on the Pico. And then this is the ground that makes a ground rail on my proto board, and it's coming back into one of the ground spots. So I ended up not using the mini breadboard. But I can imagine for other kinds of components or sensors that you might want to put on here, it'll be nice having this attached to the back. So that's always an option. You can use that, but if you're If your design doesn't need it, like this one, you can just go directly into the pins on the Pico. Yeah, so that's how that works, and I went into Tinkercad yet again to make that little slot in the spacer piece. And again, it's just a matter of cutting out that spot with about 2 millimeters thick. And I will put my all my STL files on the GitHub site, so if somebody wants to do this, they can use them. All right, this is the code that I had to add some things to make the LEDs light based on the minutes. So you can see it's it's pretty complicated. Almost all of this is written by the GurgleApps folks. And I tried to mark wherever I made some additions. So LBP are just my initials. Setting up the LEDs. So to put them on the particular pins that I wanted. Well, that's pretty simple. That's kind of a beginner type thing. And you can see there's just a lot in here. Fonts for the clock, reading the configuration. Wow, it's just pretty impressive. Let's see if we can get to the next spot. There's a function called time to matrix to get the time. And it goes out and it picks up the hours and minutes. And I said, okay, I want to hold on to those because they round them to 5, and that's how they get it to work in 5 minute increments. But I wanted to hold on to the actual minutes. So I said, okay, we got the minutes here, so I just made a new variable called actual minute. And then when they do their rounding, I'm not messing up their code, but I'm keeping a hold of what I want. And so then I just need to know the delta, pretty simple, from the rounded minute to what it actually was. I've been printing that to the screen so you can kind of see it here. We're at 40 minutes and we're right on time, so you can see it's blue, which it should be. And then I added in some if, elif. Pretty simple code here to decide which LED should be on or maybe nothing should be on. I have this just in case, but it always seems to be lit. So it just looks at the delta minutes and figures out which one to turn on. So it's pretty simple add to this function. And it gives you a little chance to give this a try and see how it works. I think probably most of the things that you would add on, you could probably just put into this main.py program that you would load if you follow the GurgleApps installation videos that they have. Really great videos. I talked about that in part 1. They got a great video for putting this all together, getting all this stuff on here. It actually looks to see if you're using different kinds of, you don't have to use a Pico, you can use an ESP32. So it has a lot of sophistication built into it, not to mention it gets on your Wi-Fi, figures out what address has been given to it, and you saw that when it operated, it goes across when it first starts and tells you what that is, because there's an app you can actually connect to and change the coloring and things like that of how you want things to appear. So it's really an impressive project, and I would suggest that if you're interested in it, give it a try. It's a lot of fun, and I've been enjoying looking to see how they did the programming too, to make this clock work and to make it as sophisticated as they have. Well, that's the bottom line on my first mod to the word clock. I hope to make at least one more. I have at least one more good idea, I think, and I've just been trying to decide what component to use. So we'll see if I get that together, but it'll probably definitely be in January, since we're here in December, and it's time to start spending time with family and friends and maybe not so much time in the laboratory. Well, with that, I hope you have a fabulous holiday season and a wonderful New Year. And as always, I want to thank you for watching.